Alright guys, buckle your seatbelts. This might get ugly. Good morning everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for joining us today. Today we're going over 10 items that are going to be in 10 food shortages that are going to be in fall of 2023. Now I've already looked over a lot of these. This is coming from the Taste of Home website. And they have different articles of where they got their information. So I'm going to talk about all the different places where you can find this online. This is no way, shape, or form me explaining things. I am going to give my opinion of some of the things after we go through the article, but I felt like these are very important to talk about here today because these are some essential items that a lot of people use in every day. So right here it says, it looks like food shortages have continued into 2023. This is what might be causing the issue. That is how it starts out. And it says updated June 26th. And 10 items you might not find in your grocery store and why. So we're going to go over these. We're going to go over each one individually, and then I'm going to give a little bit of a description of what I've been seeing in the stores. And you can feel free to leave in the comments some of the things that you have been seeing, maybe things that have gone way up in price, because apparently when these things are going way up in price, this is kind of a sign of there may be a major shortage. So the first one here I'm a little confused on, but we've gotten some comments on this. Also, before we get started, I know this is another coffee rant with Danno today. I am drinking Pike's Place. I needed something strong for this. This is something that it popped up on my phone this morning. I was like, you know what? This is something we need to talk about. I was originally going to go to a store and do another store video to check out some different items and stuff like that, but I felt this was very important. We needed to discuss today because it's crazy. It's crazy how these things are working out. And these are things that we've talked about for the last couple years, things that we've seen disappear, come back at a higher price. This kind of breaks some of that down. So if you need to hit pause on the video to get your coffee ready, it's probably going to be a fairly long video, but we have to go through these things because they are very important. Okay, so the first one, like I said, it's kind of confusing. It is Sriracha. Sriracha. According to LA Times website here, Hui Fong Foods is suffering a chili pepper shortage due to drought in Mexico last summer in 2022. While the company hopes to prevent a sriracha shortage like this in the future, there currently is no estimate on when sriracha will be back in stock. And there's nothing saying anything else on this. And I went to the LA Times website on this. They basically say the same thing, but there's no real reason for this. I'm kind of surprised that this is first on the list. I didn't know, sriracha, I know a lot of people like sriracha, but one thing I will say is that we've had a lot of comments over the last year of people not being able to find sriracha in the stores. We've had a lot of trouble. I haven't been able to even point it out for you. Okay, number 2 on the list is cooking oil. This is one we've kind of figured was going to be an issue, but let me read it to you here. The desire to use biofuels instead of fossil fuels may affect your access to some vegetable oils. The Food Institute website reports that soybean oil and canola oil, along with other cooking oils, are now being used in the process of biodiesel production. This use of vegetable oil creates a new demand outside of cooking purposes. Producers are already low in stock from bad weather and are trying to keep up with the increase of demand, making a shortage inevitable. A shortage inevitable. We've been saying this for a few months when we visit like Sam's Club, Walmart the other day, Costco. A lot of these different cooking oils that you like to use. Next time you see it, next time you find the one you like, might be a good idea to stock up on one because this, as they're saying, is inevitable. So there's going to be a major shortage, if not a complete wipeout of cooking oils. We saw this years ago with corn, and when they were doing like the E85 gas and stuff like that, we saw major shortages of corn. And ironically, well, we'll get to that here in a minute. I don't want to jump ahead of myself here. But again, that is in the Food Institute website. You can check out more. They kind of break it down a little more into the different cooking oils and stuff like that. But it's definitely something that we're going to have to keep our eye out as we do our store videos and search for the unknown. And there's only 10 on this Taste of Home website. I believe there's going to be a lot more. One major one they really left out here, which I will go over that here in a few minutes. Number 3, it's one we always talk about, rice. Rice. From a mixture of bad weather in rice-producing areas like China and Pakistan to the ongoing war in Ukraine, the low supply of rice has caused a global shortage, according to CNBC. So you can find out about rice on the CNBC website on this article. On the bright side, there is hope that this shortage will come to an end sometime in 2024. Why even say that? Why, I feel like by saying that, they're kind of, it's like covering their butt, right? Like, oh, well, if this just happens and we don't have to worry about it. It's like I always feel like when they say something like that at the end, it's, well, it could be before that. No, we've seen shortages of rice for the last year, and it's only getting worse from what we've gotten from different subscribers, reporting on different rice shortages and stuff all around the world. Not just the country here. We've been getting comments from all around the world of some massive rice shortages. I always say it. I always say if you stock up on some rice, do some things to maybe store it for long storage. If you're prepping this item, make sure that you contain it in a sealed container. Make sure that you move it from the bag to another container. So if you're prepping it for long storage, make sure that you're able to keep that as fresh for as long as possible. Wheat. Sure, we're not surprised here. Well, let's take a pause. This is a big one. I'm going to try and not get too overly heated on some of these subjects here. It's just kind of frustrating because I feel like with all of these different things, I feel this can be overcome. And I don't want to say nobody's doing anything about it because I really don't know. Again, I'm just the messenger here. There could be farmers out here that are starting new productions, starting new things, trying to create more fields of wheat, fields of wheat. But I'm sure most of us know what the big issue here is. And I'm going to explain something here in a minute. Again, the rice website, if you want to look on the shortage of rice, was given by CNBC. But again, you can find all of this that I am reading here on the Taste of Home website. I like the Taste of Home website. I feel like they do a lot of research. There's a lot of different things that you can find on this website, different things with, they attach things to Pinterest, Facebook, Twitter, all different kinds of social media to keep you informed. But anyway, number 4, wheat. Ukraine is one of the main suppliers of wheat in the world, and its ongoing invasion by Russia disrupted the supply chain, having a domino effect on bakery goods like bread. Coupled with a ban on exports by India, which was enacted to protect its food security, we're seeing rising prices when it comes to wheat products, along with a possible shortage. Possible? Although some states that slash their grocery taxes may help make groceries more affordable. And they have highlighted where to research this, and it's grocery taxes. So maybe, I didn't look this one up, but maybe grocery taxes, if you look at that and like the different percentages with Ukraine and Russia, from what I've seen, it like the 4% of our wheat was coming from Ukraine. Now I have heard through different sources that it is a total, I've heard on the news, like different areas on the news. So take that for what you will, that our total wheat here in America that was coming in was 20% between Ukraine and Russia. Now, I don't know those exact numbers, and like I've said, I heard it on the idiot box in there. So, we'll take that for what you will, but it is a significant amount. Even 4% is a significant amount. But yeah, they have on here the grocery taxes website, I guess. I didn't even, that was one I didn't look up. We may check that out here later on. I might elaborate a little more on that. I could actually click on that and see. Here we go. These 5 states are slashing grocery taxes. 45 U.S. states impose a sales tax of some sort. Oh, we're not going to go all through this. Okay, wait a minute. Which states are cutting their grocery tax? Kansas, Idaho, Illinois, Tennessee, and Virginia. One of you out there mentioned that your grocery taxes were getting cut in Tennessee. So, okay, so you could probably go through this. And that is also on the Taste of Home website here. So if you just go back, of course, they want to send me all these little things here. Let's go back to this because this is the main thing I wanted to talk about here. Okay. Now, here's one that's a little confusing for me living in Ohio because we're a major producer of corn. To give you an idea, when you get about 5 minutes outside of Cincinnati, if you go past Mason, Ohio, which is where Kings Island and all that is, you have nothing but corn for like 100 miles, and then you get to Columbus. And then you go through Columbus, which is twice as big as Cincinnati, and then as soon as you get to the outskirts of Columbus, you have nothing but corn for the next 200 miles until you get to Cleveland. So I take this for what you will, but they're saying we're going to have a shortage on corn. It's not surprising. I've seen this before. But, okay, so facing the same strain as rice and wheat, corn also has a supply chain shortage caused by the war in Ukraine. The Daily Reporter website says we can expect the price of corn to remain increased while producers try to keep up with the demands of the market. Does not say why other than Ukraine. They're pointing the finger in other directions. I don't know. Again, this was updated June 26, 2023, so about a week ago. Maybe a little over a week ago. Okay, so the next one, a lot of people are probably going to be upset about, but this one we've been reading about here for a little while. Champagne. So according to the Wine Enthusiast, that's the website, Wine Enthusiast, according to the Wine Enthusiast, demand for champagne dropped in 2020 and then rose again in 2021. This created a problem as the Interprofessional du Vin de Champagne, the CIVC, the trade organization for the Champagne region, set a lower production cap based on the reduced demand. With the consumer demand in higher gear, this shortage is expected to last several years while production tries to get back to normal schedule. If this is affecting champagne, then I have to assume that this is going to affect beer. This is going to affect wine. I don't know. And the thing is the lack of information. That's why when you look at a lot of these things, you'll have to click on the websites to see a little more in depth of what they're doing. But we're just kind of breaking it down and seeing what I see in the stores. What I see in the stores is a lot of champagne. I have not seen any kind of shortage. Not saying that there isn't. But this is something that looks like it may be worldwide. So we could see this here in the next month. We could see and these are all things that are for fall of 2023 and beyond. I mean, it doesn't really state when this will end, and that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that this is any false information at all. This is stuff that we know about, and as we go along here, we're gonna. I mean, to me, a lot of this stuff has been obvious. The next one we're going to talk about here is eggs. Eggs, that's right. You thought it was over? I don't think so. I said even when the prices were dropping, I was like, this ain't over. They're going to find a way to raise these prices again. And it looks like they found one. Again, though, one of them being another reason from before. They state the avian flu outbreak in 2022 could have lasting effects. Could have lasting effects on egg supplies for 2023 and years to come. According to Green Matters, which is the website, Green Matters, farmers are facing the loss of millions of their birds to this lethal outbreak, reducing the numbers of those able to produce eggs. The cost of the produce continues to rise at grocery stores, putting a strain on those looking for a carton. So for a carton of eggs. So yeah, they're basically saying eggs are going to go up again. Do what you can, right? We've had a lot of viewers. We've had a lot of different subscribers leave different information on how to store eggs. One of them being cook them, right? Cook them or just take out the yolk and freeze them. Again, any suggestions, leave it for our viewers down in the comments. Because this will be something again. I don't want to have to ever pay $5 again for a carton of eggs. We never did. We kind of just skimmed by. I refused to buy eggs at that price. We did have some like sandwich things and stuff and eggs that we kept in the freezer. But, you know, take that for what you will. Don't really like take my advice on that because I don't know. We are so limited on freezer space. It was just one thing. When we ran out, we were out. It was like, we're just going to either wait until the prices come down or we're just not going to eat eggs. But the one thing that does kind of stink for that is that if you want to make other things, well, other things take eggs to make. And this is something we're going to talk about here after we're done. Different things that we're going to be missing out on. And this is why, you know, we could be in trouble here in the future, especially things with rice, wheat, stuff like that. I don't think it is even really started with the wheat yet. I think we're in, and this one here is one you guys are going to get really upset about. It's one we've been talking about. Beef. Number 8. Beef. According to Washington Times website, droughts from 2022 are expected to affect the beef supply for 2023 into 2024. I think it's going to be a little beyond that. Without enough grass to feed the cattle and the rising cost of feed that farmers wanted to avoid, culling was increased in 2022, leaving less cows for the years to come. It might be time to switch to vegetarian dinners, and then they have a link to vegetarian dinners site that's actually on their Taste of Home. So if you're vegetarian or something, this might be something you want to look into. I don't know, with the cost of meat and, you know, everything like that being so high right now, it's very unaffordable, and we're seeing that everywhere. You know, we saw not even a decent ribeye at Walmart for $15.97 a pound. And that was supposed to be choice beef. We saw the rollback offer they had on their cheapest of cheap for $11.97 a pound. And it's like, whoo, forget it. But anyway, it might be time to switch to vegetarian dinners, sans the eggs, for a while to combat this food shortage. Yeah, so there's many things at play there. Some I don't really want to talk about on YouTube. But, you know, a lot of the things with beef going on, there's a lot of, lack of a better word, crap, that people are, I mean, if you look it up, there's a lot of things that have to do with crap. And methane, right? They don't want cows farting in the air, I guess. Sorry, that might be a little, brutal for people to hear, or a little sick, but that is exactly what it is. Too many cows are creating methane. Let's not worry about rocket fuel. Let's not worry about all these things going into the air. Right? Because we're getting rid of gas cars and we want all electric cars and all that stuff. You know, but methane, the thing that you use to get your hamburger and stuff, you know, because there is, you know, they have to go to the bathroom too. Let's complain about that. Let's complain about the ozone from that. So next thing they'll say, well, try and hold it in, guys. Try and hold it. Every hour that you wait to go to the bathroom, you're helping the earth, right? That's not me saying that's. I know it's funny. I try to make it funny, a little uplifting, but really, that is what it is, and it's ludicrous. But I don't know. Take that for what you will. Let's see. Number 9, sugar. Surprising. We're gonna get a little more animated here toward the end of this video. 19 minutes in. Okay, I didn't want to make this video too long, but we need to discuss these things even after this. And I have some more funny things to say here. Number 9, sugar. Sugar. What a shock. And you're going to love this. According to Business Insider, which I don't know about Business Insider, but that is the website. I'm not really a fan. According to Business Insider, India, a major producer of sugar, has decided to not raise its quota on sugar exports. Other major producers like Brazil, Europe, Mexico, Thailand, China, and Pakistan are also facing a low supply of this product, causing concerns for a global shortage. If you're seeing increase in prices, this is what they say. If you're seeing an increase in sugar prices, this could be why. Duh. I mean, and like I said, I like tastes of home here, and that's more just the obvious answer, but they're getting this from other webs. This is from Business Insider. They're just relaying it on here. We've seen increase, like at Meijer and Kroger, we saw an increase of sugar prices 4 times in a month. Both Kroger and Meijer went from $2.19 for a 4-pound bag to $2.49 the same week, both weeks. So this had, this is this thing. This ain't Kroger or Meijer. This is, hey, well, they had to raise it 50 cents. We got to raise it 50 cents. But it went from $2.19 to $2.49 to $2.79, and now we're sitting flat at $2.99. Walmart went up to $3.12 for a 4-pound bag of great value sugar. Guys, we're in trouble. And I say that lightly, but these things are going to keep growing, and it's going to be more than 10 items. I don't know which ones. I'm not a magician. I can't, as much as I love Star Wars, I'm not in tune with the Force that much. I can't see that far ahead in the future. All we can do is look into the past and realize what we need to do to change a lot of things. And again, we'll go over this last one here. It's short. So number 10, canned pet food. Canned pet food. I thought we were climbing out of that mess. I guess not. Maybe we need to find a different way to pack wet cat food than aluminum cans, right? Maybe they need to change that. Or maybe they don't want to change that. I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. Believe what you want to believe. We're, never mind. Some things I just don't want to say on my channel here. The continuing shortage of aluminum and shipping issues have led to shortages in dog and cat food across the country, with several local papers reporting bare shelves at the pet stores. I'm honestly amazed that they don't mention my channel here. Because, what newspapers? This is what I don't like about this one right here. They don't give a source. Now, we all know this because Adventures with Danno goes to all of these stores and shows you that there's no pet food. Now, we have seen some coming in, but at Walmart the other day, it was fairly low. But we've been getting comments from all of you guys all across the country. I am going to shut this laptop down because now it's time to get personal. And this way I'm not like moving my eyes over here. All right, there we go. Shut her down. 1 second. Take a sip of coffee. I hope you guys are enjoying my rant today. Boy, this one has been building up for a while. All it took was a notification on my phone this morning and this popped up. So, hey, I look at it as it was meant to be. It's important too, guys. It's real important. And the first thing we'll talk about here for a second is wheat. Wheat, okay? Because everybody wants to blame Ukraine and Russia and all that. And yeah, 20%, if it's actually 20%, which I'm a little hesitant to believe that. That sounds like a very high number. When they were saying 4% everywhere on the news, that's what we were reading. That's what most people in the comments were saying. 4%, well, 4%, we can get around that. At 4%, I could see, well, we might not have Cheerios for a month, or we might not have a specific bread that can't get it in to make, with the ingredients and everything. At 4%, 20%, different story. 20%, if that is the actual case, and we are kind of in that period where we're overlapping from last year, right? It could be bad. And by saying that, all the more reason to prepare, guys. All the more reason. Start buying flour. Stock up on some flour. Make sure, some people were saying, make sure you freeze flour so that in case there's any something alive in there, like the little bugs that can live in there, make sure that if you're preparing for long storage, if you're going to have it for long storage, You can freeze it. Mind you, I've never done this. We've had an issue with it where we've had to throw it away before. I'm sure everybody has. But to avoid that, there are ways that you can preserve flour for a longer period of time. Make sure it's in an airtight container. I know some people are saying Mylar bags. You know, I feel like it's like with eggs. One day somebody says eggs are terrible for you. The next day they're the best thing to eat on the planet. Some people are saying don't use Mylar bags. Some people are saying just use airtight containers. Either way, look it up. You know, I'm not the professional to ask about that, but we have a lot of people on our channel here who love to respond to these type questions. So if you do know the answers, make sure you let us know down below. Rice has been an issue. Rice is something else that it's going to continue to be an issue. I don't see that. I see that only getting worse over time. And I feel like the champagne deal was basically a hint for basically all alcohol products, beer, wine, champagne. I take that for, you know, I've seen in areas where they said there's going to be a beer shortage. I thought originally, are you basing that just on the wheat? But apparently not. Apparently there's other things at play here. And the one that really got me here, because I like this site, right? They're not saying that this is or this was, you know, they're really just putting it out there where they got the information, kind of like what I'm doing now. But you really, baby formula. Why is baby formula not on here? And the thing is, anybody who watched our Walmart, when we went to Walmart the other day, we saw a lot of baby formula. I was pretty excited about that. But we're not seeing it everywhere. You know, we're still seeing major shortages at Kroger and other places. Could be because it got bought up. I don't know. Maybe it's coming in more. Make sure you let us know down below if you're still seeing a major shortage of baby formula or pet food. We have a lot of viewers that are always talking about pet food on the channel and, you know, making sure that it's still coming in. You know, usually when we don't get it, back when it was gone, we were getting a lot of comments on it. And I can assume now that we're not getting as many comments, that maybe it is starting to come in. But with this aluminum shortage, this is what I've been thinking about, and I never talk about it. Why don't they start packing wet cat food in like cheaper packages? Quit using the aluminum, right? They want to keep those prices, guys. That's what it is. They need, if they have to use cheaper product or a cheaper, you know, cheaper package, well, then they're going to have to lower the price, or they can't justify that. They won't. They'll never lower the price, guys. It's like everything else. If people are telling you that these prices are coming down, they are lying to you. They are straight lying. We did a video on this a while back, but they're straight lying. There's nothing coming down. If you see something come down, if people are claiming that things are coming down, they're not coming down like they went up. You're seeing like a 10-cent knockoff. We're seeing a bar of Philadelphia cream cheese go from a ridiculous $3.59 at Kroger to $3.49. Yeah, okay, so that's gone up, 70 cents in a year? That's just an example, guys, but that's what they're doing. That's what they're saying. It's ridiculous, but that's what they're going to claim. They're going to say, no, prices are coming down. You only got to pay $3.50 now instead of $3.59. We're not going to drop it down to $3.19 and make it easy on you. You know, we're going to create more digital coupons and more things that are going to make you work, right? We're going to get rid of all checkouts. It's going to all be self-checkout. We're going to make life great on you. You're going to work harder. You're going to spend more money. And I really don't. I'm trying. I don't know, guys. This is the thing that is just upsetting. Yesterday, I was at Kroger, and I was losing it. People were upset. People were angry. It was in the air. It was like people were so frustrated and just, you know, and I went over a story of a couple of different things that went on. It was just, boy, it's just in the air. You're seeing carts, families with no food, like just canned goods and like a little bit of stuff. You know, it's like, and I don't know, maybe they weren't finished shopping, I guess, but I'm seeing people in lines because I always buy stuff when I go to the store. I always find some good deals to buy and stock up on because, you know, that's what you got to do. When you find some sales, make sure you're stocking up on stuff because, boy, I'll tell you what, these things, they start to go away again. If panic starts to set in with everything, if we have another event like what happened a few years ago, guys, people are going to be like, I'm not going through that again, and they are going to bum rush the stores to get all this stuff. This is why they are quiet about a lot of these things on here. This is why they're not going into depth like we are right now, because they want to let you know. They have to let you know. But they don't want you to freak out about it. And I'm not saying freak out or go panic buy. What I'm saying is that prepare a little bit. Make sure that you're prepared on some things. Make sure you have flour. Make sure you have maybe even a year's worth of flour, or for what you use. Don't go crazy, but I mean, I'm just saying, like, and I'm not telling you what to do at all. I'm just telling you my opinion and things that we do. Sugar is this telling me right here, now that we've seen it, now that we've seen that sugar on the news and here, and it's like, now it's going to keep you, they just open the door to make these prices higher. And I'll tell you, when Walmart is the highest of the cheap store brands of sugar, guys, like I said, we're in trouble. And you need to make sure that you are stocking up on some of these items. And like I said, don't panic, but you want to make sure that not just, you know what? I know we always talk about saving money on the channel, and that is what we're about. But you know what? Don't worry so much about the money. Make sure you have it, because if this is going to cause a sugar shortage. This is going to cause a rice shortage. This is going to cause a wheat shortage. It getting on the news. When it's on the news, when you hear it on the idiot box, then we know that, okay. And then they're like, oh, well, don't worry about it, but we needed to mention this. No. Look at people talk about Ukraine and Russia. Look at how that's going. I'm not going to discuss that on the channel, but if you are curious of how that situation's going, get on YouTube and look at some of the videos. It is ridiculous. So I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to chat about this stuff right now at this point in time, but some of that stuff is getting very ugly. They need to just end all what they're doing. That is, boy, it is just terrible. It's getting bad. The wheat and stuff like that is going to fall off the face of the earth as far as Ukraine and Russia goes, until they get their act together and they start either working together or trying. And I have no sides here, no picking sides of anything that is outside of this channel. But it's something we do have to pay attention to, because in the end, you want to make sure that you're able to protect, provide, and be there for your family and friends, and that's what it's all about. Well, guys, thank you so much for watching this video today. I feel like this was very important to get out here. Thank you for listening. If you want to continue watching The Adventures with Danno, I will put a couple videos right here. Choose which one you want. I'll try and put some good ones more relative to this video on here, so make sure you click on here if you want to watch more. Guys, thank you so much for watching. With all that being said, I'm out, and always remember, the adventure is out there. Thank you.